Hi, everybody. My name is Beth King, and I'm the retention specialist for the College of Applied Science and Technology. After a few survey responses and some feedback from students, I thought it would be really helpful to record a time management workshop that you can just watch at any time you would need. So here we're going to go over some information related to time management. Keep in mind, time management is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. So if there's anything that you have questions about or you just want to talk out more, feel free to make an appointment with your academic advisor, or you can reach out to me through the retention email, and that's listed on the last slide of this presentation. So let's get into it. I want to begin with a little bit of reflection because I want you to know where you're at, where you're starting. So as you're taking in this information, you kind of know what to pay attention to more or less. So if you'll go ahead, pause the video, grab a piece of paper and a pen if you don't have one already, or you can type this into like a notes app or something. And I want you to respond to these 5 items here. How many additional responsibilities or priorities do you manage along with being in college? What tools or techniques do you already use or have used in the past? What does and doesn't work for you when it comes to time management? Who can support you in strengthening your time management? And that can be you, a staff, like your academic advisor, a mentor, or success coach, or this can be your partner, your siblings, somebody you trust at work, or even your child. Like I have a lot of adult learners who their adult children are attending college at the same time they are. So it's a great support system to have. And then number 5, what barriers are affecting your time management? So go ahead, pause, take some time to respond to these. Excellent. I hope you did pause and kind of reflect. It's great to know where you're starting from. So let's begin by unpacking time management through the big picture here. So we want to look at the semester as a whole. Whether you're taking 7-week courses that only are kind of like half and half of the semester, or 15-week that lasts the full semester, it still applies. And you just want to break down and organize and identify all the information up front, right as the semester is beginning or right before the semester has begun. You can tackle this in one way by using the semester on a page, or SOAP as the acronym says. This is free and available to you through Think Tank's webpage. And so I'll just quickly show you here. Go to Think Tank. You can put SOAP or semester on a page in the search area, but search box here. And then if you just scroll down, they have a semester on the page that they update each semester. So right now it's fall 2023. If you're watching this in the future, it will be different, but the same format applies. You'll have this beautiful fillable PDF. Go ahead, click download. You can input your due dates and all sorts of stuff that I'll expand on here in a second. And then you can save it. So that way you have this to reference as you're moving forward through the months. You do want to look at the semester as like, what do I need to tackle in a whole before you can kind of work through things day by day or week by week. I think this is especially important for students who are managing many responsibilities, which almost all of our CAS students are, right? You guys work full time. You could be parents, you could be caregivers of other people. There's a lot of things that you all are doing on top of attending school, whether that's full-time or part-time. And so you really want to go at this in an informed way, in a well-informed way. How you can use the semester on a page is through planner extravaganza. So that's a process I have advocated for a long time, right? It's either the first or second day of the class, the semester has just started. You sit down with all of your syllabi from your classes and either a paper planner, an online calendar through Gmail or Outlook, or the semester on a page. And you want to identify and write down all the assignments and paper due dates, all of the exam and quiz dates, and I'm gonna expand on this one in a second here. So you want to plan everything out. That way you know what are your heavier weeks. If you're taking more than one class, there might be times in the semester where both of your classes or all three of your classes have big assignments or exams due around the same time. So if you figure this out or plan this out within the first week of the class starting, then you can kind of, I guess, adjust for that, right? If you know there's a week in October that's just slammed with things, then you're really not going to plan additional outside responsibilities around that time, because you know you need to be able to have the time and energy to apply to those exams, papers, etc. So that is extremely helpful. How this can also set you up for success is once you have these exam dates down and paper dates down, you can then prompt yourself and pick dates 1 to 2 weeks out to either begin assignments or begin studying for something. So for exams and quizzes, ideally, you should start studying that material 2 weeks out. This is going to allow you to kind of work at your leisure a little bit more. You're not cramming, you're not feeling stressed. This is also giving you time to reach out to instructors, to tutors, if you're needing a little bit of additional help with challenging material. Beginning assignments at least 1 week out, if not sooner than that or earlier than that. Again, same thing. It allows you to work at this at your pace, and it also gives you time to reach out if any conflicts or challenges arise. Life happens, stuff happens, so the earlier you can begin, the more likely you are to turn in work that fits your high standards, and also reach out if you need support. So that being said, right, connect with your support team early. Strategize your plan with your academic advisor, your success coach. If you're an Arizona Online student, you have access to a success coach. You can connect with mentors through Arizona Online. And so even though things haven't started quite yet, or you don't have any challenges arising, doesn't mean you wouldn't benefit from a meeting to kind of talk it out, to make your plans concrete, or ask any questions about how you can make sure your goals and plans are happening the way you want it to. So with this, you also want to clarify and identify and document your goals, right? What kind of grades do I want to receive by the end of this semester? Do I need a specific GPA, or do I want a specific GPA by the end of the semester? This really GPA goes for every student, having a goal associated with that. But I think this speaks, this is even a more important topic for students who might be on academic warning or academic review, or even, and definitely academic probation. You'll need a specific GPA above 2.0 in order to be at good standing. And so if you can set that goal and then figure out what exactly you need to do to reach that goal, then you're going to feel a lot better about your progress, and you're going to be able to catch when you need help or when things aren't going to plan sooner. You can also identify and document internships you'd want to connect with, especially skills you would want to build from your courses. Since so many of you are working students, right? You're working a full-time job that you're already interested and invested in. This degree is just going to help you grow and promote in that role. So there has been many times that your courses are teaching you skills that you can implement that day, that week at work. Your boss loves it, you love it, you feel more motivated and invested both in your degree and your career. So this is just a very intentional way to go about working through your degree and how it's bettering your life. All right, so we're going to now zoom in a little bit, right? We're going from big picture to now we're looking at the weekly way we can manage our time. And so a great way to do this is through a to-do list, obviously, that you would want to start the week and look at the week ahead. So either Sunday night, Sunday day, Monday morning, you want to look at your to-do list and see, okay, what needs to happen this week? And then what do I want to accomplish this week? So our need tos will be exam dates, essays and assignment due dates, right? Those really aren't going to have much wiggle room or no wiggle room at all. And so this needs to happen. It's going to happen this day. And then this is also what I need to do this week to make sure that I'm prepared, my cup is full. And so I'm able to attend to that exam or assignment in the best way possible, right? I'm getting a lot of sleep. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm studying, all that kind of fun stuff to prepare for these things that are due and they need to happen. For our want tos, this can be looked at in two ways, right? This can be, I know I have another big essay coming. It's technically not due for 4 weeks, but I just want to kind of get started on it. I want to gather the articles, my research articles, to support what I'm going to write about in my essay. And so even though I'm starting really far in advance, this is going to help me have peace of mind that I'm slowly chipping away at this assignment, again, planning ahead, and then I'm giving myself a lot of time to reach out if I need any assistance. If I need to go to the writing center and pass my draft off with a tutor, so that way they can give me some suggestions or some tips on how I can make this sound better or get my point across clearer. Want tos can also look like, I really want to go see this movie with my friends or my partner. So what do I need to do this week? What do I need to knock off my to-do list so that way I know I have the free time to do that and I accomplished all my academic and professional goals this week? So really, I'm a big advocate for tracking everything. And this is for two reasons, really. And I'll show you one example of how you can do this, right? So here I have an example of a Google Calendar. Not only have I put in a model of how you can track everything on your calendar, so that way you're like queued up all day. Now I'm doing this. Now I need to accomplish this. You can do this. I'll go over this more in depth, but it also has this app over here called Tasks. It's just right on the right side with this little check mark, and you can add a list here of whatever you would need. And so, for my mental health and also for my dogs, I want to make sure to walk my tiny dogs before 9 a.m. Right? So it's on there. I know I need to fit that into my schedule. And in fact, I think I did on here. This isn't by 9 a.m. right here, but once you hit it, boom, it disappears. You go, great, I feel accomplished. I'm knocking away at my to-do list. I know I'm on task and things are great. It can also track your progress. If something goes awry, your kids get sick, and so your to-do list you're not able to get everything done that day because you have to attend to other responsibilities. Then those to-dos are not lost in the abyss of what you need to do, right? This will carry over to tomorrow, and then you can say, okay, how can I fit this item into tomorrow's schedule so that way I'm not falling behind, or if it's something that people can help you with, you can say, hey, you can reach out to your friends, family, or partner and say, I really need your help. Can you please try to accomplish this with me or for me? And so that way you're staying on target. With your calendar, truly put everything on here. I know for some, this might feel overwhelming because you're like, gosh, my whole day looks busy. I'm booked out all day. But I also think that's the reality of what it's like being a working student, right? You all are truly working kind of two full-time jobs when you're doing this. And so every second counts. You want to make sure you're putting it all in there. So with this mock schedule, I had some time in the morning, so I'm going to review these chapters in this hour here. It then takes me 30 minutes to commute to work. I have my whole work day blocked out. Some students do have the opportunity to kind of like weave in working on assignments during their work day. Do it, right? If you have that opportunity, go for it. If you don't, that's all right. You know that, and then you can work it in when you have time after work. I know a lot of students fit advising appointments in on their lunch time, so you can throw that on there if you need to. What I want to draw attention to most importantly in this little schedule here is the breaks that have been put in here, right? Taking dogs for a walk, dinner, and then this break here. That is almost just as important as completing the actual task of like studying for this exam or writing a paper here. Earning your degree, especially when you're a post-traditional student, is a marathon, right? This is not a sprint. You have a lot going on. You need to balance many, many responsibilities for an extended amount of time. And so these breaks mean something. Taking care of yourself and making sure your body has the proper nutrients to focus and continue to function, getting outside so you can clear your mind, kind of move your body so you're feeling more invigorated, you're spending time with people or animals that you really care about. Like you need to strategize in breaks. And I think it's really helpful to schedule them in there so that way you can hold yourself accountable or other people can hold you accountable. If you have accountability buddies to say, okay, I said I would do this for 30 minutes. We're good. We're at 6 p.m. It's time to get started on that paper. Now I'm working on that until I need to put the kids to bed at 7. So I'll talk a little bit more about breaking things up in a little bit. But color coding might be helpful. I know it is for me. You saw my example was color coded by class and by activity. If that kind of overcomplicates it for you, don't do that. But as long as the information is documented somewhere, so you are organized and have a schedule, that's fine. But color coding sometimes helps it at least make it look pretty. So you want to engage with it more. Include those outside responsibilities. I talked about that already, but I mean, this literally includes appointments for you or your children or for anyone else you're caretaking for, your work responsibilities, time for friends and family, rest, sleep, and breaks, and then definitely meal times. These last two, again, you need to make sure these are happening. Your brain and your body need resources and fuel to function. So definitely make sure you put that in there. Make sure you're drinking your water too. Okay, keeping things realistic, right? We do this thing as humans, and there's a name for it now, the fudge ratio bias, where we tend to underestimate the amount of time something might take for us to complete. So let's say I have to read a chapter in my textbook, and I'm like, yeah, I can totally get that done, whole chapter done in 30 minutes. Like, I'll just breeze over it. Well, I'm a little bit of a slow reader. It's probably going to take me at least an hour, if not an hour and a half, to complete that chapter, right? But if I fudge the numbers and I say, no, it's only 30 minutes, and I put it on that calendar, or I just mentally think it's only going to take me 30 minutes, it's eating into the time for my other tasks, whether that's spending time for myself or with my family, or whether that's eating into my time of writing an essay that's due in 2 days. So you really want to make sure you're realistic about how much time stuff takes you. It can help, like, think of this in a scientific way, right? To time yourself doing certain tasks so that way you have like a legitimate idea of how long certain things take you. And then you can use that informed approach moving forward. There's all sorts of stuff you can do to help yourself. Oh, my other option was, if you are a slow reader like myself, I know text-to-speech tools were very helpful for me when I was in graduate school. I still made sure I was taking notes the whole time I was listening to the app read to me. So that way I'm engaged, I'm paying attention, I'm not like on my phone or falling asleep or drifting into daydreams. But it allowed me to take in that information faster than if I was reading it just myself. So that won't work for everybody, but it's just a suggestion. A second part of keeping things realistic is saying no to keep yourself balanced. Now, I think it's important to recognize, as post-traditional students, as many of you are, there are a lot of things you can't say no to, right? Like, you have to go to work every day. There's certain tasks or certifications you need to complete for work. If you're caretaking or you're a parent, you can't always opt out of ways that you're caring for other people. But really take inventory of what you can say no to. And just remember, it's just for the moment, right? You're sacrificing and dedicating yourself right now towards your degree. So you can't say yes to everything right now. But one day you will graduate, you'll have this degree, you'll have more time on your hands, and then you can say yes to more things once you're there. But right now you need to know your limits and your boundaries in terms of when to say no. So that way you have the time and energy to commit towards your degree and your responsibilities outside of college. If you're looking for more specific examples of how to kind of like track or approach time management, please check out this YouTube video. It's called Time Management for College Students, and it's created by the U Buffalo Engineering and Applied Sciences Department. they had really awesome, very specific examples like productivity wheels and like different rubrics you could use. So check that out if you need some tools to better help you organize all of this. All right, so last little part here of unpacking time management, we're looking at the focused approach now. We're looking at daily. So we're still using a to-do list, right? It's this essentially, or it is the same to-do list that we're using to look at the week ahead, but now we're just looking at a specific day. So we want to chip away with momentum. Oftentimes we will trick ourselves into thinking starting the most difficult or like terrible task will help us, because it's like we're getting the bad stuff out of the way, right? Like we're getting rid of the thing we don't want to do first. But oftentimes that task is very challenging, so it's very time consuming. Or if you're like me, because you don't want to do it, you're like procrastinating or you're taking longer to accomplish it because it's just not pleasant. And so now you've eaten into like most of your day, all this time you had to complete multiple tasks, and you either haven't completed that one big one or you just completed the one. So what I usually suggest to folks, and obviously use your best judgment on this, is complete the simple and fast tasks first. Get those out of the way, right? Like if one task is like the dishes have piled up and you need to get rid of that, like you need to get those in the dishwasher, your partner is just like going nuts because it's the dishes are your duty. Do that first. That's a time for yourself. And it'll be fairly quick, right? And then you're feeling motivated, you're feeling accomplished, you're able to check things off your to-do list and you're feeling good. Now you have the momentum and energy to kind of slowly break up and chip away at that big task. So it leads right into my next point. When you have a big, difficult task, break it up into parts. Don't just make yourself sit there and suffer. If you have to write a 13-page essay or something, don't tell yourself, I'm not leaving this spot until it's done, right? Write 2 pages, take a 5 to 10 minute break. Get your blood pumping, do something else, call a friend, talk to somebody, come back, write 2 more pages, then take another short break. This way you're slowly getting that done. It's feeling more manageable. When we take breaks like that, you're also feeling more creative. Oftentimes you're able to find solutions to problems that have really been like kind of pestering at you. And so break those up. When you're adding things to your to-do list or your calendar, be specific, right? Put the page numbers, put the specific chapter. I think this helps us remember exactly what we need to do, but it's also going to help us with accountability and then that like fudge ratio bias as well. Like if chapter 9 is 8 through 25 pages, you're like, again, this might take me a little bit, like it's going to take a little bit of time, especially if the content is very dense. Okay, so taking scheduled breaks. How do you do this in the best way possible? Because I think when people hear or think about incorporating breaks into what they're working on, they're thinking they're going to get off task and they're going to get distracted. Really, one of the best ways to keep on task is the Pomodoro technique. And so the Pomodoro technique is when you work for a certain amount of time, whether that's 30 minutes to an hour, and then take a short, specific timed break. You're also taking like very meaningful breaks, and I'll expand on what I mean by that. But so I found this awesome little tomato timer here because it's a play on Pomodoro, right? You can pick the time here. You can do a short break or a long break. You can loop it so that way it's keeping you on this schedule. If you have like a extended amount of time, you're kind of cycling through assignments and breaks here. And so this will help you be accountable. It's also like kind of fun and cute, right? Okay. So look into the Pomodoro technique. There's a lot of websites that break it down in detail if you're interested in seeing if that's the right fit for you. And then definitely use tomato timers to accomplish that. This is what I mean by purposeful or intentional breaks, right? Take a walk, power nap, self-care by like taking a shower or like painting your nails, something that makes you feel better, like a human, something you need to feel your best. Deep breathing meditation, the dishes, like a small cleaning task, call a friend, Be mindful of who you're calling. I have a friend who, man, we talk almost 4 hours every time I call her. So I probably would call a friend or a family member that we just have like a nice little check-in, just like maybe 20 minutes or something like that. Cook and eat a meal or a dance party. That's not for everybody, but for some people, they want that, right? They feel energized, they're having fun. If you have kids, they might enjoy like interacting with that too, having a dance party with you. There's a ton of playlists like on Spotify or YouTube for like study break dance parties. So check that out. You can find more information and on these breaks and other examples at Cornell Health Study Breaks and Stress Busters. So check that out. All right. So acknowledge and document your goals you complete. You're already documenting your goals in that semester ahead, right? Like looking at the big picture, you're documenting your goals. The to-do list, technically goals, right? So just as you're marking those things off your to-do list, acknowledge yourself. Give yourself some credit. This is difficult. Working towards your degree, earning your degree, whether you're working full-time, part-time, not at all, if you're first gen or if your parents went to college, this is a challenge, right? Earning your college degree is a challenge. So give yourself credit, celebrate your wins. It's going to motivate you. You deserve it too. Like you deserve to be recognized. Know that your staff here at CAST, like we love hearing about your wins. So tell us, like you can email us, you can share that information with us if you're meeting with us. So we'd love to hear it. It makes us feel good about what we're doing every day too. All right. So reach out ASAP when you need support. If you are, let's see, you have a paper coming due, but all of a sudden a big project got added to your plate at work and you've got a cold and your car has all of a sudden started not working, this is the time to reach out to your instructor as soon as possible. Don't just say, oh, I'll just get it done somehow, right? And then due dates get missed and now you're reaching out after the fact, right? You're more likely to get the help and support that you need from your instructors, from your UA staff, if you're reaching out as soon as possible, whether that's you're feeling burnt out, you're feeling stressed, or life things have happened. And so clearly communicate what you need. Obviously, it can't be promised that extensions will always be granted. That's not always something that can happen, but you can talk out other options or strategies with your instructor or your UA staff. So that way you're going at this in a team approach. Do not do this all on your own, right? You don't need to go at this alone at all. But reach out sooner than later. And then if you don't need an extension or you didn't end up needing the support we talked about, then that's okay. But at least it was there in case you needed it. All right, so some helpful reminders. Once you've figured out your priorities and goals, try your best to stick to them. I know that all of you are doing this, right? Like you're all invested in your degree, you're showing up, you're doing this stuff. So I know you're definitely doing that in terms of your academic and professional goals. But I think what also speaks to is like the you time, taking time for yourself, your family, and your friends. Making sure you're getting the sleep and nutrition and I don't know, just fun in your life that you need. It's all about balance. It's very difficult when you have a lot of responsibilities, but see how you can work those in, weave those in, prioritize yourself a bit. So that way you're experiencing your life the same time that you're also working towards your degree. Contacting your instructor sooner than later. I already talked about that, but it's worth saying again, right? Reach out as soon as possible. Do you deal with the procrastination monster? Every once in a while we all deal with that. And so I have some examples. Productivity Owl is a Google app add-on. So if you're using like your internet browser, you can block certain sites from yourself. And so let's say you wanted to like check on Facebook while you said you'd work on these other things, work on your paper. It'll just pop up with this picture of an owl. It'll be like, hey, get back to your task. Just as a nice, gentle reminder to kind of guide you back to what you were doing. Forest app is specifically for your phone, but it's very helpful. And I can show you here. It has a timer. You're growing a cute little tree. It gives you some kind of nice motivation there to keep on task. If you're able to complete the time that you set it at, it grows this beautiful forest and it tracks your progress while you're adding these trees. It's beautiful. It's great. It's cute. You can earn like different kinds of plants, like a cactus or a different kind of tree. If you were to hit this give up button, it like your tree shrivels and dies. It's kind of sad. So it's a bit of a motivation to keep you on task, which is excellent. Let's see. And then your accountability buddies. And so you obviously know best where you can find these peeps. But here's a couple examples. So you can find an accountability buddy through your mentor cats. You can find an accountability buddy through your academic advisor, or if you're an Arizona Online student, your success coach. Here's another great place for you to find accountability buddy. This is the Arizona Online Near You Discord server. And so this is just, they're a great group of students. Everybody's super encouraging, as you can see right here. And there's many different little rooms that you can take part of, but as you see here, there's all these study rooms that they'll actually break out for finals week, or certain times where there's known to be a lot of exams. And so they'll get together and they'll have study groups virtually. And so feel free to take advantage of that. It's very helpful. Know your best times. And I have yours bolded here. I'm more of a morning person. So if I have to work and attend classes and take care of others, but I still need to fit in studying and reading, then I'm going to try to accomplish that in the morning before work and other things I need to attend to. For others, y'all work better at night. And so if you can try to carve out some time for yourself late at night, still trying to get some sleep, obviously, remember that. But work at the time that you're most attentive, you're most awake, you're feeling most engaged. Building momentum, already talked about that, but kind of starting with easier, more simple, accomplishable tasks. So that way you're feeling good, you're knocking things off that to-do list, and then you're able to just kind of break up those big tasks and chip away at them a little bit at a time. So that way you're feeling good, it's feeling manageable for yourself. Know your limits. This comes to taking on additional responsibilities, but this also comes like with your health. You know, when do you need a break and how can you prioritize your health and your mental health to do that while you're still attending to your academic and professional responsibilities? Know your limits, work with other people so that way they can either strategize with you or offer support. You know, you do not have to do this all alone. I keep saying that. Use your UA support system, use your family or friend support system. We are here for you. We want to be here for you. And then life can and will happen. Sometimes it's unavoidable that other things come up and get in the way of accomplishing things or meeting due dates. Reach out, communicate with people. Don't let it get you down. It's just one moment. How do you need to create a plan to move forward? All right, so that's it. That's we're at our time. If you have any questions about time management, about what's in this workshop, you want to work with somebody, please feel free to make an appointment with your academic advisor, or you can email me specifically at castretention@arizona.edu. I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope you have a really good rest of your day. Thanks so much.